Can we just be honest for one moment, guys, please? Because something's off. Something's not right. I know I can't be the only one who goes outside and is kind of, I can't necessarily pinpoint what is right, what is wrong, but something feels off. Something just feels like it's wrong. Something feels like it's not supposed to be going on the way it is. Probably like a lot of you, I felt like something was wrong and I thought it was me. I was like, okay, I need to fix myself. I need to heal. I need to better myself. I need to be healthy. I need to work out. I need to go to the gym. I need to become a better version of myself. That's what's making me unhappy. That's what I thought. So I did it. I did the healing. I went to the therapy. I did the medication, antidepressants, you know, I'm trying to get happy, trying to blend into society properly. And still I'm like, I don't feel, I don't feel right. Again, we're told to work harder, to grind harder, to hustle, to be humble, to be grateful. And it's like, yes, I did all those things. I grinded, I was humble, I still do all these things and invest into my life. But it just seems like the harder I try, it seems like there's like a force pushing me back, almost. I don't know. So like there's this tension, this heaviness that something here is fundamentally off. Something here is not right. Something here is wrong. I don't know how many times I have to say it for us to really, we get it. Something here is not right. You guys feel me? I feel me, right? We can agree on that. And it's like you start asking the questions that not a lot of people are asking, like, why do billionaires exist? Why are there more homeless people on the streets now than there ever was before? You know, like, it's like really, these are 1 + 1 type of questions. Like, okay, if there's more billionaires means there's more homeless people, obviously. But for some reason, people don't understand that. For some people, for some reason, 1 + 1 does not always equal 2 for other people. So we're left still asking ourselves these questions, like, why are there children starving in Africa, like they always tell us? And why are there people who are so wealthy who can fly to the moon if they want to? Does that make sense? Like, it's just like these questions that we've been asking ourselves since we were children. It's just something fundamentally, something is wrong here. Something just doesn't make sense. Again, so we're asking ourselves these questions. Why do billionaires exist? Why are people around the world homeless? Why do children sleep on concrete while other people are able to fly to the moon? Makes no sense. Why is war normal? Why is genocide normal? What is politics? You get me? We're all asking these questions as we're entering adulthood because we're confused. We're perplexed. We don't know. I'm confused. When I go outside, I feel a disconnect. I'm like, there's something wrong here. Something doesn't feel right here. When I'm online and I see children starving, dying, in Sudan, in the Congo, when I see what's going on in Palestine, I'm like, no, there's something wrong here. Just because I look outside and things are okay and people are driving to work and people have their normal day, things going on, it's just like there's still something very wrong going on around the world, and you feel it. You feel it, I feel it. It's inevitable not to feel. And we're also, I don't know about you guys, but I'm asking the questions of why do billionaires get upheld to the standard of being, you know, almost this perfect being? You know who holds all this power just because they're wealthy? Well, people in poverty, while your homeless person on the street gets held to such a low standard of life, of living, because they're homeless, because they don't have physical necessities. Weird, right? It's like who you are on the inside doesn't matter anymore. Who you are as a person, what you bring to the table besides your material wealth, besides personal possessions, it doesn't matter anymore, I guess. I don't know. What's so weird about all of this is growing up our whole lives, we were told that racism is over, genocides are over, war is over, there's no such thing as patriarchy anymore, you know, we're all equal, we're all balanced now. And, you know, you get into adulthood and you're like, are you guys sure? Like, it's just like, but then if you guys are telling me that all these things are over, why am I online and I see racism, I see genocide, I see war, I see the most horrible things that I could, you know, ever imagine to continue on today? So they tell us that feminism fixed everything, the civil rights movements, all these things are fixed now, everything is good, we're all happy now, we're all civilized. As you get older, it's like the curtain, the veil begins to fade, begins to fall, and you start seeing reality, the world for what it really is, which is what they claim it not to be. Weird, right? Everything that they said the world isn't, the world is. Everything that they said is a thing of the past still goes on today. whether it's racism, whether it's slavery, let's be honest, whether it is genocides, war, all this stuff continues today. And we have more awareness of it, which is why I'm so confused as to why it still goes on today and why nobody does anything about it, why we have world leaders who don't care, right? Why do we as civilians care more than world leaders who have a power and have authority? Anyways, we're gonna get into it because... And what's so weird about this video, or about, you know, like me talking about this topic as of recently, is I'm getting a lot of people pissed off. And I don't understand why. Why when I talk about social injustice, why when I talk about patriarchy, feminism, whatever, people get upset? Why are you triggered by a reality, by a truth? Anyways. Let's just talk about it, because I know I'm gonna piss off a lot of men in this video. And this video isn't even like for men, like it's not even hate towards men. It's just me calling out facts. That's it. It's not about my opinion, it's about facts, right? And a lot of men, they have their own opinions and they think that they're facts. Your opinions aren't facts. Anyways, we'll just, like, maybe I should just wait to get into things like that. I don't know. And I don't know about you guys, but like, growing up, nobody has ever told me that all the systems that have been created were created by men. Nobody tells you that for some reason. I'm not blaming men for creating these systems. I'm just calling it out for what it is. Men created every single institution system that we have. So whether it is in the policing, in education, in justice, in legislation, in political politics, in laws, men have created every single one of those structures, every single one of those institutions. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying that it's a fact. Is it not? My opinion would be that these systems and these institutions were created to protect men and to serve men. That would be an opinion. But I'm not going to say that. Even though it is probably a truth, because all these systems, they were made for men to protect men. And I would want you to understand from this video that I'm not blaming men, okay, for any of these systems that go on. I'm just calling it out for what it is. They built these systems, and these systems are destructive. These systems are violent. These systems they don't resonate. I'm talking about a system of masculine energy that has been going on for thousands of years. A system that is excessive, a system that is violent, a system that focuses on physical possessions, a system that prioritizes ownership, domination, egos, greed. Like, let's just call a spade for what it is. And if a spade is a spade, let's just call it out, right? So let's just talk about the truth. And if you're following, then you would understand that that's what this video is about. This video is to talk about the excessive masculine energy that we have going on right now in society when we look outside. That's why everything feels very off. That's why everything has always felt very off. This is the reason why billionaires exist and families starve. This is the reason why it's so hard to find peace, because everybody prioritizes money and wealth. And this is the exact reason why the feminine energy feels unsafe in society, why it feels undervalued and exploited. Because it is. Because once you start studying history, studying power structures, studying human behavior, you see this pattern that is very hard to unsee. This pattern has been on repeat for like thousands of years now, and it's time to talk about it, right? Like, that's why this video is happening right now, because we're going to talk about it. This is a pattern of excess masculine energy that has been running the world, dominating the world. Because I don't know about you guys, but me personally, I am completely done and tired of pretending that this is normal. It's not normal. When you go outside, that offness that you feel, that uncomfortability, it's not normal. You shouldn't feel like that. There's a reason why you feel like that. Your body is telling you something is wrong. And for some reason, it's been normalized, again, to seek self-help if you have these off feelings, to talk to somebody, to take medication, to get a diagnosis. But if you really think about it, if you feel an offness, maybe perhaps that is your body telling you that something is wrong. I mean, you are a living creature, right? You do have survival instincts inside of you, whether you know it or not. So usually, like when you feel anxiety, for example, you're not feeling anxiety for no reason. You're feeling anxiety because your body is having a reaction to something going on, to some type of stimuli going on the outside, right? Usually you have anxiety, like if you are scared of dogs, you'll have anxiety when you see a dog. If you go outside and you have anxiety, ask yourself, why do you have anxiety when you go outside? What's going on here? Why is going outside, why is society so uncomfortable? Why are people so weird? Why does everybody feel this feeling too? It's not just me, I know it. Maybe it's not everybody, but I know it's a good amount of us. And that's why we're here. We're going to talk about these things because something's wrong here. Obviously. Right? So let's really get into it. I know the terms masculine energy and feminine energy might be confusing, which is why I'm just going to break it down for you guys really quickly. You get me? A balanced amount of masculine energy would lead, it would protect, it would create structure. That's a balanced, healthy amount of masculine energy. While the feminine energy, on the other hand, would heal, it would nurture, it would protect in that way. So what I see when I think about masculine and feminine energy, I like to see it as one is physical and one is something you can't see, if that makes sense. One is I can build with my hands, and the other one is I can heal with my heart through my love and my care and my nurture. Does that make sense? I don't know. You guys let me know in the comments section down below if I'm right or I'm wrong. I don't even know. How do you see masculine and feminine energy? That's the way I see it. I see masculine energy as being able to provide in the physical realm, while I see feminine energy as being able to provide in the spiritual realm through nurture, through healing, through connection, through creating, through that way, through giving life, right? And I mean, like, I feel like we always hear about masculine energy, and that's the problem. We always hear about building and infrastructure, and we hear about possessions and money, and that's why the feminine energy, the feminine voice is so quiet. We don't really know that the feminine is here to nurture, to heal, and we don't even care about those things in society. I mean, like, how many times do you hear heal and nurture on the news or outside when you look outside, right? No, you see buildings, you see cars, you see everything that a man built. And it's this excessive masculine energy that we're living in right now, where there's hierarchy, where there's war, where there is genocide, where there is political power, where everything is focused around physical possessions. Nobody cares about who you are as a person anymore. Again, what you are inside, it's like it's meaningless now, right? It's like, what can you provide me that's physical? What can you provide me that is a possession that I can have? What can you give me? That's, you know, what the world operates now on, what it has actually operated on for a long time. I mean, history has shown us time and time again that excessive masculine energy will destroy itself, inevitably, will collapse. I'm talking about in Spain, in Rome, Britain, in Greece. All of those empires, every single one of them were built on masculine domination and excess masculinity, and they've all collapsed. Every single one of them. They've all fallen in like the worst, horrible ways. And then you're looking around in society now and you're like, when's the collapse gonna happen? I'm waiting for it. There's gonna be a collapse. You feel it, I feel it. And that's why this video, anyways, you're catching on now. Okay, we don't have a lot of time. All of these places, they rose to domination through greed and power and wealth and violence. They all rose like that, and they all fell that same way. And guess what? Guess why, I mean? It's because there wasn't a balance. It was because everything was about physical possessions and greed and money, and nothing. There was no healing, there was no love, there was no nurturing, there was no community. That was the problem. It was every man fending for themselves. When you look outside, that's what every man, when you look outside, it's like, wow, history has really been repeating itself. I'm just saying, like, when you look outside, every man is still in that survival, fending for themselves kind of mode. There's not a lot of healing, there's not a lot of caring, there's not a lot of nurturing. Mans really don't care that there's children starving. World leaders don't care that there are children starving. World leaders with power. Anyways, I keep talking about this because it's a problem. Anyways, let me just stop. What I'm trying to tell you guys is every time masculine energy goes unchecked, it's gonna destroy itself. Every time, okay? I mean, just think about colonialism. People think that shit's over. That was just the beginning. That was literally just the beginning, because they took land and they continue to take and steal land. That's what goes on. That's why wars happen. That's why genocides happen. It's because people want what other people have. What's so crazy is a lot of the time, wars and genocides, they're justified by like religion. Huh? How are you going to justify the most violent, vicious, horrendous crimes and acts imaginable with religion, with a god? How do you do that? What a lot of people don't realize is billionairism is due to excess masculine energy. Do I have to explain it? Okay, will. Billionaires only exist because the world is built for domination. The world is built for you to do some vile shit to get money. Not by equity, not by equality, but by exploiting people to get what you want. That's how billionaires are made. A billionaire is not a person. A billionaire is a system of extraction. You cannot make $1 billion ethically. You cannot. It's impossible. There's no such thing as an ethical billionaire. It doesn't exist. Billionaires are not ethical. So I don't understand why you guys uphold billionaires to this high standard of life and living when they're actual horrible people, when they actually exploit underprivileged people, like when they're actually doing horrendous things to make their money. Why you applaud them, why they're on covers of magazine, why they make these, lists and documentaries, and I don't know what I'm talking about. But why they do this stuff is really confusing to me when you can't make $1 billion ethically. You can't. It's impossible. And unfortunately, this is what most people don't want to admit. They don't want to admit that being a billionaire is now the new kings and queens, right? So this is literally history repeating itself, where there is just poor folks, mans with no money, and then rich people with all the money. That is, there's no more, we already know this, right? We've already talked about this. There's no more middle class. There's only people with a lot of money and people with no money, right? So we have emperors and we have kings, and those are the billionaires, and we just have people in poverty. That's it. Right? People who are in survival mode because they're just trying to put food on the table for their children. For some reason, society likes to say that women are too emotional to be presidents. Women are too emotional to be leaders. Women are too indecisive. They can't make up their mind. And, I used to believe that. And what I'm realizing is that's not true at all. Women can't be presidents. They won't allow women to be a president because a woman is not willing to sacrifice a child for oil. A woman is not willing to destroy a village for gold. That's why they won't let a woman be a president. For some reason, when I say things like that, people get upset. Is that not a fact? Is that not the truth? Have you guys ever seen a woman blow up an entire village because of her ego and because she wanted more money? I mean, when in history has it ever been recorded? So how come when I say it's a problem? Women are not allowed to lead because women threaten the entire system that men have created on greed, money, and wars. Again, if we're being honest with each other, a woman would probably choose to save a life or to save a village than to destroy it for gold and for wealth and for conquest. And I don't know about you guys, but if you've looked outside lately, or even sometimes at your phone, we are like this close away from Hunger Games. Like we are one rich man's bad day away from districts. That's how close we are. And if we are putting 2 and 2 together, this is what happens when masculine energy is going unchecked. When masculine energy just keeps on like escalating itself, just doing the most, it's destructing, it's destroying itself. And we are in very dire times, friends. Billionaires buying land, the people who don't have homes is increasing. Okay, we have governments and cities, or governments and countries buying weapons. For what? What are they preparing for? What, can we have food? Can rent be affordable? What are they preparing for? Why do countries keep buying weapons? Can we not prepare for war? Can we prepare food? Can we prepare for housing? Friend, you're not tired because life is hard. You're tired because you're obedient. That's why you're tired. Because you're grinding all the time. Because you're hustling all the time. Because you're staying humble. That's why you feel so tired. That's why you're so miserable. You're obedient to the 9-to-5s that don't serve you. You're obedient to the government that you don't even trust. Who trusts the government? Nobody, right? Why are we obedient to them? I mean, let's stay obedient, right? Though I'm not trying to start a war or riot. I don't know what kind of things happen. Let's stay obedient for now. Wink, wink. Why are we obedient to something we don't trust? Why are we obedient to billionaires that don't serve us any good? Why do we care about them? Why are they in the limelight? Even celebrities. Why do you guys care about celebrities? That's a different point, though. these people, again, upheld to this standard that don't serve society anything. They actually make society worse if you're looking around. Friend, the billionaires are putting you in survival mode. You are not okay right now because of a billionaire. I promise you that. You are working 3 jobs at a time to make rent to provide for your family because a billionaire has his feet kicked up on his desks. Yeah, multiple desks. That's what he has. And I think we've been taught our whole lives to be obedient, to listen, to kind of be controlled. And that's cool and all, but damn, like, you guys are really gonna do us like this? Like, you guys are really gonna make mans, like, suffer and, you know, starve in the world and, you know, die of wars and genocide? Like, you're really gonna be doing things like this? That's so crazy. I'm not staying obedient to that stuff, me personally. Friends, we have to stop accepting the bare minimum when the world has enough for everyone. There's enough to go around. It's just some people are so greedy and are okay with taking from others. That's the problem that's at hand here. The world is not a reflection of who we are. The world is a reflection of what patriarchy, what colonization, what excess masculine energy has done to it. That's what the world is. See, me personally, guys, I'm not scared to call out the root problem here. I'm not scared. I'll call it out. There's a masculine imbalance in the world right now where everybody cares about possessions and greed and materialistic things, and they'll do anything for it. That's what's going on here, and that's why it feels off. There's no more nurture, there's no more care, there's no more community, there's no more tenderness, you know what I'm saying? There's no more love. And if this video woke up something in you too, well then guess what, friend? It's time. It's time. Because dire days are coming. I'm worried, and you know what they say, like, history repeats itself, so I'm looking around waiting for things to crumble. Somebody save us, somebody protect us, I don't know. We don't have that, so we're gonna have to save ourselves. That perhaps I maybe made a lot of men upset, but think about it. If this video triggers you, if this video is triggering to you, then I need you to take a look in the mirror and ask yourself why. I didn't say anything bad towards men, so why is it triggering? You know what I'm saying? Like, right? I'm just calling out facts, right? Is that not the truth? I don't know. Do your own research too. Yes, if you like that video, go ahead, let me know in the comment section down below. If you don't like that video, let me know in the comment section down below. I'm here, I'm listening. Thank you guys, and peace out.